Hey, on this video, I wanted to go over my experience of what summer is like here in Las Vegas, coming from Hawaii. Now, we've been to Vegas multiple times before, but never in the summer. Last year was actually our first summer here, and to summarize it, it is hot. The hottest months are June, July, and August, July being the hottest, which is right now, and temperatures are usually from 100 to 109, and sometimes 110 to 115, 116, even 117. 100 to 109 it's okay, but when it's 110 to 115, that's something else. I remember back in Hawaii, the way people would describe the Las Vegas heat is like opening a hot oven. And I would say that's a pretty accurate description, but instead of the heat just blowing on your face, imagine it all over your body. And if you're wondering how the heat is in the evening, imagine opening the oven again, but this time with the lights off. It's still hot in the evening. The heat stays on the ground, the walls, and it doesn't cool off until very early morning. It was weird at first going outside in the evening, because when you look out the window, the sun's down, it's dark, you expect it to be cooler. But once you open the door, it's just as hot as during the day. It's better though compared to when the sun's up, because when you walk in the sun, your skin burns like you're being cooked. I don't know how some people do it though, because when we drive to the strip, even in the extreme heat, I still see tons of people casually walking around like they don't feel the heat or something. Low humidity or dry air is another topic people back in the way like to talk about. Before we moved here, they used to say, at least it's dry heat, you won't be sweating. So I always believed that if I go outside in the heat, that I won't sweat. Then summer came and I went outside in the heat. I was still sweating. Now it's not as much as it would be if I were in Hawaii. I remember in Hawaii, when I would walk from the house to my car, I would already be dripping in sweat. And sometimes, even if I'm standing completely still, I would still be sweating. Here in Vegas, when I walk outside, I can feel my body sweating. I feel the moisture on my forehead, but it doesn't drip. And when I get into the store, it just disappears. Maybe it's just me who sweats in this dry weather. I still don't know which I would prefer though, the extreme heat and dry air, or the hot and humid weather back in Hawaii. But I'm kinda leaning towards the dry air. I don't like sweating. The one thing that wasn't brought up about Vegas before we moved there is the wind. It can get very windy, which is okay, but when it's hot and it's windy, that's not okay. In Hawaii, when it's windy, the weather is cooler. Here in Vegas, the wind doesn't cool off anything. I feel like it just makes the heat worse. Breathing outside when it's hot and windy is hard. It feels like you're suffocating. Nobody told us about that. If they did, then maybe we would still be back in Hawaii. Driving is probably the worst part about the summer. Not the driving itself, but driving to a place, leaving your car in the sun, and then going back in the car. Going in your car after it's been in the sun is the worst. Everything inside the car is hot. The seat, the steering wheel, the shifter, and when you try to adjust the mirror, it burns your hand. In Hawaii, if your car has been in the sun for a while, you can at least roll down the window first, let the hot air out, turn on the AC, and then drive off. Here in Vegas, you can't really do that, because when the temperature is around 110 or higher, you don't want to be outside waiting for your car to cool. The windshield cover also doesn't help. It's better to park under a shade if you can find one. The AC also struggles to keep the car cool, and we pretty much have it on max until we get home. Last year, I thought summer was going to be the months where you can't really do much outside. Then after living here for a bit, I realized I was wrong. There are many outdoor activities you can do, even in the hot summer months. It's just that you are limited on the time that you can do these activities. In Hawaii, you can pretty much do anything, anytime. Maybe not when it's raining, but if it's not raining, you can go hiking, go to the beach, go to the park, barbecue at home. Here in Vegas, you still can do some of those things. It's just that you have to adjust. If you wanted to go hiking, you probably need to go around 5 a.m. because the sun rises at 5:30 and it gets hot really fast. But if you're like me and you can't wake up early, you could always drive to Mount Charleston, which is always cooler than Vegas, and it's only an hour away. Unfortunately, there's no beach here. There's Lake Mead though. I've only been there once, and I don't think I want to swim there. I think I got spoiled on how nice the beaches are in Hawaii. You could also drive to California, but that's too far for me. Now if you like to barbecue, which we often did in Hawaii, you can wait until early evening when the sun sets. Problem is, the sun don't set until 8 p.m. and it's still very hot outside even when the sun is down. So you will be eating late and someone has to be willing to grill outside in the heat. We haven't barbecued yet during the summer, and I don't think we will. So this was my first experience of what summer is like here in Las Vegas. We got about a month and a half left of the heat and it should be back to perfect weather, and then to the cold. I'll probably make another video on my experience of what winter is like here in Las Vegas. Thanks for watching, listening, and we'll see you next time.